Hey, everybody. Meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees here. Different time period, same Brittany here, of course, in the Weather Center. Uh, Happy Monday, everybody. Hopefully, you had a good day. It was definitely cold and chilly. And just to kind of give you a preview of what we're going to talk about, of course, in this web live stream, is the weather this week, the weather for Christmas, and the fact that if you were dreaming of a white Christmas in Charlotte, unfortunately, I'm sorry to dash those dreams because it is not going to snow here in the Charlotte area um, for this week. Or looking ahead to Christmas. Now, it is going to snow up toward the mountains, but just not here in the Piedmont. So, taking a live picture here from our quad box camera, Dallas Canaveras, over toward Monroe. You can, of course, see that things are pretty calm out there right now. One thing you're going to notice tonight and really into tomorrow, especially, is some cloud cover building in. We're going to see really consistent cloud cover here over the next 24 hours or so. So, kind of that typical chilly, cold morning on Tuesday, but then our highs aren't going to nudge much by the afternoon. Mountains tomorrow morning, again, seeing a partly cloudy sky, lows in the lower to middle 20s. Pretty seasonable for those folks. Upper 20s there, Hickory, Maiden, Lenore 28. And of course, we're going to stay pretty close to that, even here across the Charlotte Metro, right around 29 or so. This is still cold, right? It's below freezing, but it's not as cold as we were this morning. So I'm holding on to that as my one little positive. It was 24 Monday morning, 29 likely for Tuesday morning, and areas across the southern Piedmont and toward the Sandhills right around the freezing mark. Now, hour by hour, you'll kind of see the consistent cloud cover and the fact that there will be a slight wind chill. Anytime that you're below 50 degrees and you have any kind of wind, there can largely be a wind chill, but it's pretty much below 50, above about 3 miles per hour. So tomorrow, highs in the mid 40s. That is. It'll feel a little bit colder there in the lower 40s. Luke's saying that they got down to 19 there this morning. So pretty normal, right? If we got to 24 here in Charlotte. Now, what's interesting tomorrow is we have a kind of a weird weather pattern starting to develop. We've been watching this for multiple days now. The opportunity to see some rain and even some storms over toward the coastal part of the Carolinas. You can see from Savannah, even the Florida Panhandle toward Charleston, coastal South Carolina. This frontal boundary that's going to move through the area and kind of keep the low pressure system right offshore. What that's going to do potentially here in our area, so we're talking about our local 22 counties, is bring in an opportunity for a few showers, and some at times could mix in with a little bit of freezing precipitation. So what's interesting about this setup is that we'll have the cold air in place because this will be largely Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. We'll have the cold air in place and rain moving in. This is not going to impact, it looks like, Charlotte, but it could impact portions of Chesterfield County, Chester, Lancaster, and really areas south of the Piedmont. Essentially, the rain will clip those southern portions and could produce at least a few snow showers, maybe even a wintry mix. The good thing here is that it doesn't look to have much of an impact because it's not going to be a lot of rain. It shouldn't coat the roads by any stretch. So black ice not looking like an issue yet, but we'll kind of keep a close eye on it. If things shift a little bit further north, there is the chance that we could see some of that in Charlotte. But right now it does look to stay largely south of the Queen City itself. And then pretty much as quick as that moves in, clouds will build back in. So it's going to be a very, very short window of time to see some of that clearing and some of those showers. So I wanted to take a closer look at Futurecast. You can kind of see, so the area of white that's kind of overspread, of course, is the cloud cover, but see that tiny little area, an area south, Chester, Lancaster. Again, those are some of those showers mixing in, but it's going to mix in with a ton of rain. So it's going to be very hard to see. So it'd kind of be some of those wet flakes, again, snow showers largely, not straight snow, and a potential for a little bit of a wintry mix. And it's all about timing. Again, if this comes in a little bit later, wouldn't be as much of an issue. If it comes in a little bit earlier, maybe so. But you can kind of see that again, mainly Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. And again, it doesn't look like it's going to impact much of the Charlotte area, but we'll keep a close eye on that, of course. I'll be in the Weather Center again tomorrow evening for the 4, 5, 6, and 11, keeping a close eye on it. So, $1 million question. I said this at the top of the stream. It is not going to snow in Charlotte this week. We could see a wintry mix at times, especially for that Thursday night into Friday morning time frame we've been watching. But if you're looking for accumulated snow, potential for a white Christmas, you got to go toward the mountains. We were talking about this yesterday on Sunday during our morning show on Wake Up Charlotte Weekend and again in the live stream. But all the snow potential really stays up toward the mountains, a chance for a mix for the foothills, but you can see the European, the GFS, even the GFS ensemble in really, really good agreement that again, we see the cold, but it's just not going to be the timing is not there to see the cold at the same time that we get enough moisture, the moisture too warm. It's just not going to happen this time. There is a chance that we could see the potential for cold weather warnings as we get closer to this weekend, wind chill, significant cold. And that's because consistently we've seen really the Arctic blast, really the biggest story. Luke asking, is there a chance we could get wind chill warnings? I would have to double check, Luke, the exact threshold for a wind chill, kind of how cold it needs to be. But I definitely think there's a possibility here in the Charlotte Metro, which we'll see it coming up. We'll see teens for lows this weekend. That means that our feels like temperatures could be in the single digits. So this is going to be, again, a big player with the cold air this weekend. So I know the snow word oftentimes gets more headlines, but here in Charlotte specifically, so most of the Piedmont, it's the cold air that's the bigger story. Again, if you're looking for snow, you'll have to go up toward the mountains. Snow not going to happen in Charlotte. So Wednesday night, Thursday night, best chances to see snow in the mountains. And it's that second Thursday night that we'll be watching really that transition kind of Thursday night and into Friday morning for at least the chance that we could even get a wintry mix here in Charlotte. Again, not snow, potential for some sleet mixing in. And again, that'll be mostly Friday morning. Now, in the mountains overall, there's a chance, especially at the highest elevations, that anywhere from 2 to 4 inches will be possible from pretty much now over the next week. So this could be one of their first really notable, measurable snowfalls of the year. These will likely change, over the next few days like they do. But if you're in the mountains, not only, of course, are you preparing hopefully for the Arctic blast this weekend, but you will likely see some snow, but nothing that they're not used to, especially this time of year. In fact, really with a pretty warm November and a warm early December, areas like Beach and Sugar Mountain that even make their own snow are probably kind of excited that we're going to finally get a little bit colder as they were too warm to make snow for at least a little bit of time. High temperatures today, we were in the upper 40s. Tomorrow, again, cloudy, mid 40s. And then we're kind of slowly ramping back up to around the lower 50s as we get toward Friday. You'll notice that Friday's temperatures have changed a little bit. Things are trending a little bit warmer. That's because of a later arrival of this frontal boundary and the fact that we could be on the warmer sector of the storm system. What that really changes only is, again, not going to see snow in Charlotte and the fact that it lessens our chance for a wintry mix if it speeds up. There's still a chance that we can see some sleet, but if it continues to be slow, the rain could be over by the time the cold air arrives. But we know it's arriving. We know it's coming. That has never been in question. Again, we're not going to see snow in Charlotte, but it is going to get really cold as we head toward this weekend. So, of course, Saturday and Sunday, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, whether you celebrate or not, I hope you have a great holiday, of course, season, the next few weeks, Hanukkah already in place. But I want everyone to stay safe. So I know, again, even if you don't celebrate, it's a weekend that a lot of folks even just pay attention to. They know it's happening, and I want you to pay attention to the fact that it is going to be cold. So lows have been consistently trending in the upper teens, highs only in the mid to upper 30s. It's not only going to be cold, but arctically cold, 20 degrees colder than average for this time of year and substantially cold. In fact, it could be one of the coldest Christmases we've had on record here in Charlotte. Probably the low is only going to tie for be number 2, and the high could be in the top 5. So it's going to be really cold. Again, rainfall, none, and not expecting the snow on the ground, as it's really not going to rain much really for the entirety of the weekend. So there's only chances to see snow in the mountains Wednesday and Thursday evenings. Now, the coldest Christmas on record here in Charlotte was 22 for a high temperature. The coldest low was 4 degrees. We're likely, again, going to be number 2 with that low, with those lows in the teens. And then for the high temperatures, I think we'll at least be in the top 5, if not tying the top 5 there with 34, set back in 1969. And so the record cold, again, that's the bigger story, especially for the areas, of course, for the foothills, mountains that are going to be even colder. They'll see snow, and even for the Piedmont, where we're in the teens for our high temperatures, or our teens for our low temperatures, excuse me, and highs only in the 30s. So again, this is substantial cold. I want everyone to be prepared for it as we get closer to this weekend. In the mountains and foothills, we'll also have to be watching, not again, not just the chance for it to be cold, but the wind chill to be pretty significant, likely below zero, especially at the highest elevations. And of course, they're going to be dealing with snow on top of that. So Brad mentioned this in his earlier vlog, but if you haven't already, make sure your homes are prepared. Um, Make sure you know your heat is on, your heat's working, things of that nature. Make sure that your car is prepared for the potential to get really, really cold. A worst case, right? You never want to be in a situation where you're trying to go to work and you're turning on your car trying to get there and it won't turn on. So just to give you a recap in our 7-day forecast, is sponsored here by Guy Roofing. Snow showers again, possibly south of the Charlotte area tomorrow. I do not think this is going to impact areas in the metro, but especially Chester, Lancaster area south. Few showers possible on Wednesday. Uh, Roxanne asking, was North Carolina going to see snow? Roxanne, yes, but in the mountains only. We are not going to see any kind of measurable snowfall, any kind of snowfall accumulation in Charlotte. A mix is possible for the foothills, especially Thursday night into Friday morning, but not here in Charlotte. Thursday is really the rainiest, the cloudiest day. Highs will reach the upper 40s. And then again, Friday morning, it's really going to depend on the timing of the front, whether or not we get a bit of a wintry mix, maybe some sleet in Charlotte. It's more likely, though, that we're going to see most of that stay to our north and just some straight rain. 51 for our high Friday before we see temperatures plummet. And the last thing that I'll mention for this weekend's cold air, just to give you some perspective, our coldest temperature of the year so far is 18 degrees. That was set on January 22nd, the low. We could be tying that Sunday, but we could be getting even colder on Saturday. So this is not just, of course, cold air. It is substantial cold air. And so I just hope everyone stays safe out there as you are kind of making those plans for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. We get a touch warmer Monday heading into the 26th. And it does look like we'll get a little bit closer to that average by the end of December. The average is, again, 34 for our low, 51 for a high. So you pretty much are going to have to subtract about 20 degrees on both ends for our weekend forecast. So hopefully you guys got the answers that you needed from this live stream. If you ever need, have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to email, message myself on any kind of social media platform. I'm sure Brad will have another vlog at some point coming up this week as he is out of town. I'll be filling in for him again tomorrow. But we still always have you covered even when he is not here and we have a shuffling, right, of meteorologists in the studio. So I hope you, again, got all the answers you needed from this stream. Have a happy and safe week. And if I don't see you again, have a safe weekend and, of course, holiday as well if you do celebrate. Bye, everybody.